everything recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
I'm starting the timer now.
Okay, let's go.
Oh my god.
What a perfect
time we went from
pour a beer.
We went from mango lassies to Corona extras.
That one's got you, baby.
Also pouring himself a beer, ladies and gentlemen.
In a teacup.
You know what? I never even checked my own mic.
Your own mic works. And if it doesn't, we're really not missing out on much.
Imagine the whole time it's just like...
I don't know about you guys, but my hands are getting mad sweaty as soon as you click that record button. Like, oh my god. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name of Mr. High Quality. We got Shiv on the mic.
What's up?
Also from Saffron Media. And ladies and gentlemen, Impressions by Annuj. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the wedding panel. We have a special guest in the building. Impressions by Annuj. You can find all of his information in the description down below. Impressions by Annuj on Instagram. impressionsbyannuj.com as well. Let's kick it off. Going right into it. Annuj.
Yeah.
You're one of our favorite photographers. One of the best in the game right now.
Thank you.
2019 killed it strong.
I'm sorry, we're just gonna circle back. What was that? Was that English? Killed it strong?
Killed it strong.
This guy got nervous.
I got what he's saying.
Because
Killed it strong.
we don't kill it weak.
You killed it
Like
strong.
that.
Okay, all right.
Killed it.
You did really, really well.
You killed 2019.
You killed 2019.
Yeah.
Those are
Alright.
two options you really could have gotten.
Yeah, and you chose something.
Killed it strong.
Killed it strong.
It's really hard looking at the question, trying to choose something on the 15 questions and talking at the same time.
I think he was thinking about ending it strong and killing it.
Yeah,
And just add those two together.
Alright, let's try this introduction again. Because I also set him apart of being in the panel as well.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. The introduction
fine,
is good.
yeah,
You're
we
good.
can
You're
hire
good.
you.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
No, thank you.
We have enough sponsors.
Alright, so you ended the year extremely strong. First question I got for you, Anuj, is why photography? What got you going? What kind of inspired you to become a photographer? And
I think
about that.
I think there's a bunch of things. There's circumstances. I think are one huge thing is circumstances for sure. Another thing is like the fact that my dad is actually a videographer. So growing up,
he's video?
He's video.
yeah,
I
he's a
thought he
video.
was photo first.
No, he's a videographer.
Okay.
Yeah.
This changes
This is
everything.
making me nervous now.
No. So like,
Take your job.
Impressions by Annuj does video in 2020.
That's what made me nervous.
oh my god.
2020.
To be honest, video is my first love.
Get out.
Yeah,
Please. Just get out.
Okay, bye. No. Like my dad is like a videographer, so like I grew up like helping him. He would take me to weddings and stuff when I was like in high school and stuff, and even before that he would take me to weddings. But when I was in high school, he would take me and he would make me shoot certain things here and there and stuff like that. So like so I grew up in that kind of in the industry pretty much. So I kind of know like how it works and all of that too. And photography again is another thing that I grew into. Even though because like I never shot photos because I would always help my dad with video.
Right.
And so then I just got into taking photos because the crazy thing is Tanya's dad for my birthday got me a camera. Mm-hmm. So it was a DSLR. Yeah. So he got me so that can kind of tell you when I started actually taking pictures. Before that, I had a camera here and there too, but like it wasn't as like it wasn't a digital camera. So this was my like first proper like digital camera.
It was the camera you buy at Shoppers. You know that you scroll and click. Scroll to 10 disposable ones.
And then you just pull it and it's like, oh man, the disposable.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, yeah, like he got me the camera and it was an Nikon. Yeah, so like
You're still a Nikon though, right?
No, I'm Canon. Yeah, it's
okay.
true Canon. Yeah, so it was an Nikon. Was a D90. So he got me that, and I started shooting with that. And then
So what year was that?
That was when we first started dating. So it was like almost like 10 years. 11 years, almost 11 years ago. 10, 11 years ago. Yeah. So it's a long time ago. Let's just say 10. Yeah. So I only started shooting. I think it's been like 6 years now, right? So.
Wow.
Yeah. So like before.
That's it.
Yeah, it's been like around almost like it'll be almost 7 years. Yeah, coming into 7
years. So you got your camera a few years ago. Before that, 6 years.
Yeah, so I got it before that, and then just started shooting. And again, like even when I was just doing that, I didn't know I was going to do this.
So when did you come up with Impressions by Annuj?
What's the process behind the name? Because like a lot of the time, what I look at is when people are like trying to get into the business or whatever it is, it's impressions by and blank.
No, because like there's always that ongoing joke, and you can't even pretend like you don't know. If Baro was supposed to pick up a camera right now, right?
Yeah.
And he
Mr.
brought
High
up
Quality.
the first joke we would make is that sorry, Mr. High Quality, not Baro.
Why can't I just be a real person?
Add it on that bottom.
but if you were to pick up a camera, what's the first joke we make? Oh, impressions by Mr. High Quality, or impressions by Baro, right? But yeah, no, talk us through the name. Like, what made you decide on that?
Honestly, like that name was hard. Me and Tanya just sat there, kind of like trying to figure out what we wanted to do. What I wanted to name the company was just Tanya and Annuj.
Okay.
Just me and her. That's what I wanted to do, because that when we first started shooting was me and her were shooting together.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's how we started.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted it to be that, but she was like, "No, I don't want any part of this. I don't want my name on this. You can have it. Like I don't want it." So then I was trying to figure out what to name it, and then we just ended up with Impressions. But
How long did Tanya stick around for?
she shot
I
with
mean,
me for
she's married. Like he's married.
Yeah, but like, we're doing photography with
hopefully
you.
for the rest of my life.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Good answer. Tanya, if you're watching, he's a keeper. He's definitely a keeper.
But yeah, like she's honestly she was shooting for a long time. Even after she was pregnant, she shot with me until she was even 3 months before she actually gave birth.
Oh,
So
wow.
she even was shooting at that point, like here and there with me too, right? So
Yeah.
she's definitely a
'Cause,
strong
like,
woman. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of your Instagram, big fan of your photos, obviously.
Thank you. Yeah.
But I see like with Tanya, she'll be doing the vision books, flipping the pages and showing every picture, all 50 pages, all 100 pictures in the book. What was your inspiration behind why vision book, pretty much?
Okay, so like Vision Art is like the name of the company that we use, the Vision Art
Well, this
albums.
is uncomfortable now. You
What?
you did that whole thing and then you got the name
I got
wrong.
the name wrong.
You got the name wrong.
You just
Okay.
do it.
All right.
So should I ask the question again?
No, I'm joking.
No.
We'll just keep going.
Keep going.
It's just like, what
How
is
does this
this?
work?
Just so you know, it's Mr. High Quality. It's his first time doing it.
He's new. guys. He's new.
It's like, I don't get to yell in the mic, so it's just kind of weird for me.
So it's Vision Art Albums is the company that I'm.
Vision Art Albums.
Yeah,
Okay.
Vision Art Albums. That's the company that I'm using, and I've been using them from the beginning. I haven't changed. Just they're incredible. Like one of the best decisions I've ever made in the whole photography since the time I've started, and we love showing their stuff off because it's that good. Like
Yeah.
everything I print, it just looks amazing.
It looks
and
amazing,
It looks,
yeah,
and
for sure.
a lot of people there's that thing where people think like, oh, digital files, we don't need to print albums and all that kind of stuff. And it's for example, like go to your parents' house.
Yeah.
You go to your parents' house and you have like these albums at your parents' house, right?
Yeah.
And 100% you guys have at one point opened the albums up, looked through them,
Right.
and like talked to each other.
It's something about having something so tangible in your hand,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Because you
Exactly.
go back in. Yeah.
Exactly. And that brings that back,
Yeah.
I don't think that should ever be gone.
No,
Because
definitely.
No.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the digital
It's not
file
the same as like zooming into your iPhone and
Yeah.
kind of pulling it close to your face,
Yeah. Yeah. And when you do that, that's another thing. The fact that you can zoom into a picture and keep zooming in doesn't mean that's how the picture looks. When you take
Exactly.
the picture and you print it to a certain size and that's it. You
That's it.
can't really zoom in and look at it.
Exactly.
So we know when people like go and like they zoom in and they're like, oh man, I have that little zit on my face. And they're like, oh, there's like something here on this or whatever. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
you see it like in the actual printed and like that size, you're not going to be able to zoom into it, right? And like it's one of those things where like people just kind of take it. They just use it in the wrong way. I feel like the digital side of
Yeah.
things, right? Yeah.
But you also find that with like photoshopping. Like I feel that like we were talking about it too. Like there's
Yeah.
often like a misconception behind photoshopping,
Right.
Where people are like photo manipulation and like we don't want to be photoshopped. Like
Right. Yeah, like to be honest, like when I'm shooting, sometimes like say I'm shooting a couple, right? And when I'm shooting, I'll listen to them all the time. I'll always listen to be like especially if the couple are talking together, or even when they're talking to me, especially if they're open,
Right.
they'd be like, "Oh my god, don't shoot me this side. Oh man, like make sure my belly isn't this, or maybe this or that or whatever, right?" And I'm always paying attention to that. So if I know that's going to happen.
Like, I'm going to have that issue most definitely. Steven's looking down like, I hope you caught that at my wedding,
I hope he heard me talking.
He's talking about me.
Oh man. But then that's the thing. Like I'm always listening to that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
So like when I listen to that and I hear, okay, that's something, I'll
Yeah.
shoot in a way so that it doesn't show that. But sometimes like afterwards, when you look at the picture, you're like, okay, you know what? I can fix it a little bit.
Fair.
Right? And you do that. You don't do it to a point where like it doesn't look like that person anymore. You do it just a little bit so like nobody will notice. Right?
Do you have the clients that come back and say like, "Hey, I don't want to be photoshopped"?
I've
Like,
never.
I wanna look
Little,
real.
or do you kind of explain to them what it is that you do? Because I think that most people just think that once you have a photo, they Photoshop it. They don't even understand what Lightroom is. They don't understand,
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you ever have to go into specifics of exactly, okay, this is what I'm gonna do and this is what it's gonna look like, or do you just do it and give it to them and then hope for the best?
I honestly, I just do it and I give it to them.
Yeah.
Because if you try to explain, oh, you're going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then it's just for somebody like who they just want their picture taken and they want good pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not going to like think, okay, you know what, like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want like specifics. There might be, I've had some people come to me and they're like, you know what, can you fix this? Can you fix that? And when they do that, I'm like, okay, you know, I'll fix this and that, especially if it's like, you know, if it's like something that needs to be fixing, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for the most part, I don't, because again, like I said, I do it to a point where you can't tell I did it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
If you can tell I did something, then
You didn't
that's
do a
bad.
good job.
I didn't
Yeah.
do a good job.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Definitely.